Watson, I've had you on hold while I've been ranting. It's just, we have been through hell with these people. He talks about how to go on message boards, how to get infighting going, how to make up lies. We witness what they do every day, don't we?
Yeah, we've been tracking it for a long time, Alex. And as I wrote in the article, we have anonymous posters, and we allow them to be anonymous by our system. I mean, we could make everyone register, but it'd just mean a lot less discussion in there. So we allow people to be anonymous. And then from the back end, I can see where these people have got the same IP address, so you know it's the same person, but they're posting under different names and then creating a fake conversation with these alter egos. So
and that's what he says. Stay there. He says create fake consensus with multiple posters. He's blueprinting what we're witnessing, and they don't even hide their IPs. They're government. I mean, the government is attacking us and trying to get people to commit violence, too. And I want to put all the COINTELPRO operators on notice. If they ever run a successful operation against us physically, which he calls for inside people's operations, we do have the assets and the understanding to track it back and then sue you. I'm not just some bumbling little liberal or conservative group. You're going to be able to successfully do this. And I call for criminal investigations against this Obama administration official. I mean, wait till I read the quotes of what he's calling for. I mean, if I wrote stuff calling for criminal infiltration, getting people to call for violence, criminal acts, I would get in big trouble. They think they're above the law. They think they can get away with all this. They think it's funny, Paul Watson. Go ahead and go through some of the stuff they call for in there.
Well, what's interesting about the individual himself is that he's Obama's information czar. He's the head of information technology out of the White House with executive powers. And in the past, he's called for reformulating the First Amendment and internet censorship. But what he does in this 29-page document, which is linked from the article, which you can download, is he first defines what a conspiracy theory is. And we find out by his very definition that it's basically anybody who disagrees with the government. He says that people who believe that some practice or event by reference to the machinations of powerful people have also managed to conceal their role in that event is a conspiracy theory. So believing that powerful people try to influence events to increase their power or money is a conspiracy theory.
And if you do that, they should infiltrate you and send you to prison. I mean, if I sit here and say AIG and Goldman Sachs and the Federal Reserve are openly involved in crime publicly, that doesn't exist because he sets the confines of reality, and I need them to come in here and set me up to go to prison.
Right, and it gets crazier. On page 5, he says that being exposed to sunlight, the notion that that's healthy to get sun on you, is a false and dangerous conspiracy theory. So sunlight's bad now. That's a conspiracy theory. And then what's...
This guy's on a power trip. They literally think they're God.
The most disturbing thing is on page 14. You know, it gets worse than him just saying infiltrate groups and get them to provocateur things. On page 14, he says that the following measures, each will have a place under imaginable conditions. So he's saying they will have a place, and he's powerful. He's got executive powers. He's in the White House. He's one of Obama's key advisors. So each of these measures is going to have a place under this system. 1, government might ban conspiracy theorizing. So if you disagree with the government...
Literal thought crime. We got to have a headline from Kurt Nimmo, calls for thought crime laws. I mean, this...
If you disagree with the government, if you think that getting out in the sunshine is healthy, then they're going to ban your free speech. 2, government might impose some kind of tax, financial or otherwise, on those who disseminate such theories. So a tax on disagreeing with the government. Which is interesting because Sunstein has called for tax day to be celebrated. He thinks it's wonderful that the government rapes us every year. So he's a big fan of that. And now he
so make a religion out of the raping, yes.
Now he wants to put a tax on if you think that sunlight's healthy. 3, government might itself himself engage in counter-speech, marshalling arguments to discredit conspiracy theories, and then it gets into the infiltration from there on in.
So take our tax money for our speech and give it to government groups to counter us.
Exactly. And then after he started talking about this infiltration of what he calls conspiracy groups, i.e. anyone who still has two brain cells to rub together, he says, such as mainstream scientists or the editors of Popular Mechanics, whom government attempts to enlist to give credibility to its rebuttal efforts. So he's basically admitting that when Popular Mechanics came out and, stood behind the official 9/11 story when it was under the most severe attack back in 2005 is when they first came out, that Popular Mechanics was enlisted by the government to do that. He openly admits it on page 18.
Well, he goes on to say, we can't use government people. We'll use allies like Popular Mechanics and not let people know that we're funding them.
Exactly. So that's what was happening. I mean, we knew it, but now they admit it. What's important to take from this, as I wrote at the end of the article, though, was this proves how much success we've had. On page 3, Sunstein writes, quote, the existence of both domestic and foreign conspiracy theories, we suggest, is no trivial matter, posing real risks to the government's anti-terrorism policies, whatever the latter may be.
Paul, so stay there. We're going to come back in 5 more minutes, go through more key points. Read the dossier for yourself. It is just a criminal manifesto of absolute tyranny. This guy is a monster. We'll be right back.